Hi, my dear students and parents. I hope you are seeing these episodes on career. I have been in the human resources development industry for the last more than 4 decades. I have seen the job opportunities which existed 4 decades ago, and the process of manpower planning, organization chart, and looking at what type of people are required in the industry in the next 5 years' time. I have participated in long range planning. We used to call it as LRP. And the personnel department will be given an assignment. We need these type of people. And a team of technical experts and the human resource development team, the finance team, they will go to organizations to find out what type of technologies are used on one end. The marketing will be doing a lot of research on how the product is going to move, how the market is going to respond the next couple of years, and give the manpower requirement to the personnel department. Then we go to educational institution to hire. We call it as campus recruitment, which is taking place even today. But what change has taken place the last 10 years is the pace of change that is taking place in the society. If you look at the last 10 years, the amount of change that took place and extrapolate it with the change pace that's going to take place in the next 10 years, it will be mind-boggling. So my dear students and parents, you should keep an eye on the future to decide which career you're going to choose. In this episode, I'm going to discuss robotics engineering. We talk about robots, right? And the national education policy talks about coding even at the class 6 level. So a lot of integration is taking place on robots, artificial intelligence, machine learning. So robotic engineering is an area of focus which will become very relevant with the next 10 years minimum I'm talking about. It deals with the design of modern, highly functional and innovative robotic system. Robots are near human beings or not human beings. Robots cannot think for themselves, but human beings can think themselves. Robots do not require certain of the basic things a human being will require. For example, rest. Robots will not become tired after 8 hours or 9 hours of work because robots are designed that way. The human system has certain limitations like heat, dust, temperature. Robots do not have such limitations. Robots are technically driven, but humans are emotionally driven. So the limitations the human system has is overcome by robotic engineering. Simple. For example, now I can give a very raw example of how a machine can do what human beings can do. If you go to some of the marriages, you will find dolls doing namaste and welcoming you. Right? This is a mission. Monotonous job. So the monotonous job is replaced by a mission. But can you replace a human being, a relative at the gate to welcome the guests with a mission? Maybe over a period of time, there could be a near human being which can express as much as a human being, but not a human being, which is robots. Okay? I was just exploring which are the places where robots can be used. I was reading in China, they are testing the question. Hundreds of kindergarten classes in the country are now using small robots called Kiko. These robots will tell stories, they will pose logic problems and react with facial expressions when the students interact with the robots. This is upcoming field. Just imagine only this field, education field. In fact, they say that the education field is much larger than even the automobile sector or the software engineering sector. Right? So, this is one area. Robots can be used in agriculture. Right? Harvesting, for example, weed control, mowing. Right? Because harvesting, I don't know how many of you have seen, I have done harvesting myself. In the hot sun or in the cold winter, you have to stand, you have to bend and harvest. You get tired, but robots do not get tired. Right? The other day I was visiting a friend of mine in US. He has a vacuum cleaner, a round vacuum cleaner, a robotic vacuum cleaner. He programs it in the night and give the time 10 o'clock in the night. And at 10 o'clock automatically the robot switches on and it cleans the entire room. Only thing you have to ensure is you have to remove the chairs and the small little things, put it on your table or whatever it is. The robot will recognize whether the floor is cleaned or not yet cleaned. And it will stop as soon as it is over. Like a human being. Sometime back, a couple of days ago, somebody sent me a small little clipping. A robot in a restaurant. A robot comes with the item to be served on the table, and the person has to pick it up, and you have to sign the bill, and surprisingly the guest said bye, and the robot said bye and left. Right? So for menu taking, for supplying the items, the restaurant, robots are used. And back in the kitchen, cleaning is given to the robots. Right? Vegetable cutting is given to the robots. And some advanced kitchen tools or robotic tools. Let us take one more area. In a hospital, distributing medicines to patients, like what happened, what I told you in a restaurant, the robots distribute medicine. What's to be programmed is in which bed, which patient is there, and what are the medicines to be administered at what periodicity. What is to be programmed is in the various beds and who are there, and which patient has to be given which medicine and what periodicity, and the robot takes care of it. Right? Security, for example, the crime detecting bureaus and police department use robots for surveillance, for night patrol, and these robots are also provided with night binoculars, so that they can see in the darkest night, which human being cannot do. Now, if we put a torchlight, the thief may hide. Right? So, this is another application of robo. And robots are also used in analysis. A huge amount of information is required. I was reading a research article. In judiciary, robots are used with artificial intelligence backup. When the facts of the case is fed to the robot thinks for itself and collates lot of information on related case history in the past and then comes with an analytical solution. So this is the scope of robotic engineering, and what course you can do: BTech in Robotic Engineering, MTech in Automation and Robotics, Master's Program in Robotics, MTech in Artificial Intelligence, and of course there are a lot of places like Indian Institute of Technology Chennai, National Institute of Technology Calicut or Kozhikode, right, Birla Institute of Technology BITS Pilani, Indian Institute of Science Bengaluru, and of course there are a umpteen number of foreign universities which can give you the education in robotic engineering. So my friends and parents and students, I'm sure you like this episode. Please post your like, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel so that you get our latest update. All the best.
SRMJV is not just a school, it's a one-time experience.
VM Nagar, Tiruvallur,